This is Suzanne Wagner, and thank you for joining me on the daily Numerology and Astrology for August 7th, 2020. If you add all those numbers together, you get the number 19, and if you add the 1 and the 9 together, you get the number 10. Now, you've heard me say before, the number 10 is the number of power and radiance and boldness and courage and forward motion. It's about the willingness to take a risk. It's about standing for something and standing up for something. And, this is one of those places where I want to overlap some palmistry related to numerology, related to tarot. I mean, they're all kind of weirdly related. So the number 10 in the major arcana in the tarot is actually the fortune card, and it's the Wheel of Fortune card. And so the Wheel of Fortune is always turning and changing. And so because of that, it's sort of like a luck thing. It's a luck of the draw. And while power and luck and opportunity does show up in astrological charts, and so there are people that, just have a lucky chart. I mean, they just do. They have water trines. They have all these things that help them get away with a lot of things, by the way. So, just because you have luck in your chart doesn't mean you're a good person. Just because the Wheel of Fortune comes up in the tarot does not mean you're going to win the lottery. So good fortune comes in many different forms, and power or opportunity is a chance for you to step up and step in. So in palmistry, one of the things that we say is that, this finger you come in as a baby soul and you learn about structured religion. Religion teaches you the rules around love, marriage, and relationships. Love, marriage, and relationships teaches you to make money through what you love to do. When you make money through what you love to do, you are automatically given power. And when you have power, money, love and marriage, and religion, you start asking bigger metaphysical questions such as, who am I? What am I here to do? How can I be of service? Okay, God, send me in. There are ways to complete all of these fingers and all of these patterns that are in palmistry, and power is one of the interesting ones. So power, the only way to complete power in palmistry is to have power and then to walk away from power, because power is so incredibly addictive. And so once you have power, you just want more and more and more power. And so the hardest thing to do is, as you see in the Buddhist stories and teachings, that you've got a king and his minister, and they basically let go of everything and they walk away from power and they go back and reclaim themselves. And even in numerological spreads, when I look at people, you can see that they had a lot of power in another lifetime in their numerological spread. But they have the karma of humility in this lifetime, which basically means that they were an arrogant, headstrong, difficult, stubborn-minded, willful, pompous person as a power person, and the universe went, I'm going to cut the legs out from underneath you, and I'm going to teach you some lessons related to humility. So you see cycles that happen in relationship to power, that if you abuse power, if you use power for your own end in a negative way, then the universe will in some way undercut you and teach you lessons related to humility, which is why so often you see this in astrological charts and in numerological spreads, that somebody had the power and in this lifetime they sort of struggle. They sort of have, and they some part of them remembers that they had everything in another lifetime, and so then they're really upset because they're like, I know I'm supposed to have more and everything, and and I'm like, well, welcome to this world. This is this lifetime, not another lifetime. This is this lifetime. So where there is potential for change, there is always power. Finding the doorways through the tricky pathways of power requires one to do things without personal regard, but to do things from the standpoint of what is right. When people taste power for the first time, it's like a drug. They want more and more of it. It's hard to let power go when you finally feel that you have an illusion grasp so tightly in your hand. But power is like a moonbeam, and you cannot hold it with normal human desire or want. You can only hold on to it with open hands and open arms, and hands and arms that intend to give back or to give away. Power is given by the people, and it is always taken back by the people. When power is abused, the backlash can be brutal. History shows us that again and again. Power is not about having it, but about what you do with it. So if you're interested in a great book, there's a book called The Power Paradox. And it's a fantastic book that you can really learn how the energy of power grows, evolves, and expands, and how it's actually given to people by the people. And when a power person abuses the people will take that power away and take it back. Okay? Now, the astrology today. On Friday, the moon moves into Aries, and it's a perfect time to exercise and dance and do all forms of heavy breathing. Be bold, be brave, be direct, but also be kind. You are not always right, nor is anyone else. While this moon is highly confrontational, there is a Mercury-Neptune that is minorly challenging each other, and they want to do the opposite. Choose well, choose wisely. This will probably help you dissipate some reactiveness, but it may also diffuse your focus. You may want to see some situations in an overly optimistic way, and it is not the best time to handle details. Venus enters Cancer until September 6th. It is finishing up a particularly long cycle in Gemini, and now it is helping you to become more nurturing, cautious, protective, and negotiative in your approaches with others. Emotions will continue to run hotter than normal, and expect the wild swings to continue. You need to remember that you are more than a bit sensitive, and your impressions are not necessarily completely accurate under this colored veil of intensity. So much has been building for so long that you cannot hold much more without some sort of explosion of expression. Do your best to work through your own issues so you do not project them into an inflamed world. Instead, focus this energy in the kinder and more devoted ways of Cancer. Have concern for others and recognize that people do not feel safe or secure right now. I know everyone is already on the big home projects pattern, but this adds energy to accomplish more in that area. So pay attention to your family and make necessary improvements in your diet and your health. Friday is good for pleasant conversations. Okay, my quote for today. Power is like holding a moonbeam. You cannot hold it with normal human desire or want. You can only hold on to it with open hands and open arms. Hands and arms that intend to give back. Power is not about having it, but about what you do with it. Okay, so yesterday my husband and I went to the Eel River just to relax and to regenerate, and it's one of those last truly wild rivers on the west coast that is not dammed. We picked it to go midweek because there would be no one there for the COVID quarantine protocols. It was lovely to do nothing and have no appointments and to just take a break from the many projects we've been doing on our property. I think both of us got there, went for a swim, had lunch, and then promptly fell asleep. So you do not realize how exhausted you are until you put yourself outside of your normal routine and in a place where there is not cell phone service or internet. So I know everyone is feeling what we are feeling also. I know that we are not alone. None of us can do our normal routines for comfort or go on vacations to have that moment to feel as if you just got away. So you have to figure out things such as a day by the river so you can regroup and be more at peace. It was amazing how with just 5 hours of being in a wild running water river, sunshine, quiet, and nothing to do but just hang out with each other, your disposition can improve and your coping skills can increase. It is something I hope everyone can try a few times because we are going to be dealing with this quarantine for a very long time. Take care, everyone. Bye.